And going back to the Patrick Stewart thing, I mean, in the summer, 800k for the players that went out.
Yeah.
For Todd Cantwell, Connor Goldson.
That's how bad it is.
Aye.
And that's why he's got such an important job now. Because if he can really lead them, and if he's not a minister without portfolio, who's just there to tick a box, but ultimately just carry out the orders that he's getting from the guys that are paying the wages, he's not going to make any impact. It's not going to make any difference.
It could be me or you. It could be anyone.
Yeah, well, they had that. They had it in Stuart Robertson, and just guys that are getting their lunch money taken off them.
Yeah.
And then told what colour underpants to put on them on. This guy, Patrick Stewart, has to be different. This guy has to be a leader of men. He has to walk into that room. And I hope that the conversation before he took the job was, right, guys, I'll do this, but I need you to get behind me and allow me to lead from the front and allow me to make the big calls. Because otherwise, what's the point?
Stuart, watching live on YouTube, chimes in. What kind of leadership have Man United had since Ferguson? He's obviously alluded to the fact that Patrick Stewart was previously at Man United. Yeah. It's a fair point. Man United have been a bit of a shambles.
He's had various roles at Man United over the course of 18 years. I think it was only laterally that he moved into the full-time chief executive position.
And you could take another view that that's readied him for Rangers. He knows.
That's certainly a man of full experience who will have loads of contacts at the top level, not just in English football, but at the European level.
You think so?
And that's where Peter Law has always had one up in Rangers over the last period of time. So he carries a bit of clout into the job, and let's see now how that manifests now that he's actually sitting in the seat.
Aye, time will tell. Do we think? I mean, I guess I'm throwing this at you.
You want to hear what else he said?
Go for it.
You make up your mind what you're doing.
Well, in fact, I've been called out a little bit here on the comment set. Well, I'll go with that. Hold on. It's Dennis Mirren. It's a long one.
Oh, Dennis likes a long one.
I know. Does Daniel realise Rangers had to start from the bottom, giving Celtic technically a 7-3 run for all trophies, and also shut their top tier down for 2 seasons while Rangers filling out Ibrox against Montrose and Brecon, 7 free years at Champions League money. We stopped 10 in a row by 25 points. Now we have officials clearly doing everything in their power to stop Rangers beating Celtic. 5 goals disallowed this last season in all firm games, and then Sunday the final straw.
I'm bored, right? Okay. Do you want to hear what Patrick Stewart had to say rather than who was it? Dennis Mirren?
Dennis, aye.
Okay, Dennis the Menace. Patrick Stewart, Rangers' new chief executive, says there has been a lot for us to be cautiously optimistic about in recent weeks. I know the signings we made in the summer are starting to really bed in and play with a degree of confidence, and some of the ones that were already there that just couldn't get into the first team. In fairness to Philip, he always said that would take time. You always say, well, when will that time come? But we've seen it in the last few weeks. The match with Spurs really showed Rangers going head-to-head with a top Premier League side, and it was a match we all felt we should have won. The performances in the SPFL have been really positive. We are scoring, not conceding. Of course, the cup final, I don't want to dwell on it again, but it could have been such a memorable day. We have a lot to be positive about. So he's certainly painting a picture of, glass half full.
Yeah.
I think for most of this season, it's been a case of, stadium completely empty at the start, and then glass half empty following that.
Of course, be the speed. It's been a shambles this season, Rangers.
It certainly has.
It's been absolutely chaotic. And just going back to Dennis, right? He said this thing about.
Don't let him get under your skin.
No, but he says the point about Celtic, Rangers Celtic a 7-year start. Whose fault's that?
Yeah,
wasn't it Celtic's fault?
No.
But anyway, sorry.
Again, he's right under your skin. So yeah. Do you know what? As you said, if you actually look at the season so far, it has been shambolic. That is the word for the Rangers season. Now, the last 3 or 4 weeks, that's not enough of a body of evidence to say that everything's turning round.
Yeah.
It's certainly moving in the right direction in terms of how it's starting to look on the pitch. I think Patrick Stewart has to ask himself a question. The same thing that we're discussing here. Has this manager actually worked this one out, or has he just fluked it?
Aye.
Because
I think it's a very valid question.
Because I'm going to have to tie my mast to this guy. Mm-hmm. If I think he's the real deal, then I'm going to back him going to go into January. I'm going to try and give him whatever funds. I need to believe in him. So we're having this conversation. Rangers fans out there are having similar conversations.